Does getting old make you useless? Does it mean you're no longer needed, no longer valued? It's a question many of us might face one day, but for some, that day comes sooner and more cruelly than you can imagine. Today, I want to share a story with you. It's a story about loyalty, about the passage of time, and about a heartbreaking decision. It's the story of Tommy. Tommy is an old dog. His fur, once a glossy brown, is now threaded with gray, especially around his muzzle. His eyes, once bright and full of mischief, are now a little cloudy, a little tired. His legs, which used to carry him like the wind across fields and through the woods, are now stiff with age. Running is a distant memory, a dream he chases in his sleep. Climbing the stairs has become a daily mountain to conquer. For 10 long years, Tommy has been more than just a pet. He's been a guardian, a friend, a silent shadow watching over his home and his family. Every night, for a decade, he stood watch. Every strange noise in the dark was met with his deep, reassuring bark. Every time his owner came home, Tommy was there at the door, his tail thumping a rhythm of pure, unconditional love against the floor. He was the first to greet you in the morning and the last to settle down at night. He's seen children grow up, celebrated birthdays with a wag of his tail, and offered a furry shoulder to cry on during tough times. His entire life has been a testament to his devotion to one person, his owner, but time, as it does, has taken its toll. Tommy can't chase the ball anymore. He can't jump into the back of the car for an adventure. Sometimes, he has accidents in the house. The vet bills are piling up. The vibrant, energetic companion his owner once knew is gone, replaced by a slow, frail creature who needs constant care. And a dark thought has started to creep into his owner's mind. A thought that began as a whisper and has now grown into a deafening roar. Tommy has become a burden. The decision was made on a quiet Tuesday morning. The sun was shining, birds were singing, but a heavy shadow loomed over the house. The owner decided he couldn't do it anymore. The cost, the effort, the constant reminder of aging and decay. It was too much. He hatched a plan, a terrible plan born of desperation, and what he told himself was a difficult necessity. He would drive Tommy deep into the woods, far away from home, and leave him there. He tried to justify it, telling himself it was a release, that Tommy would be free. But deep down, he knew what it was. It was abandonment. He grabbed the old, worn-out leash, the one Tommy hadn't used for a real walk in months. Tommy, lying on his favorite rug, saw the leash and his old heart gave a hopeful flutter. A walk. Was his owner finally taking him out for an adventure again? He struggled to his feet, his old bones creaking in protest. He hobbled towards the door, his tail giving a few weak, tentative wags. He looked up at his owner, his cloudy eyes filled with a familiar, trusting light. He had no idea what was about to happen. He just knew his best friend was holding the leash, and that was all that mattered. The car ride was silent. Tommy sat in the passenger seat, a place he hadn't been in a long time. He'd occasionally look over at his owner, panting softly, his head resting against the window, watching the world blur by. He didn't understand the tension in the car, the grim set of his owner's jaw, the way his hands gripped the steering wheel until his knuckles were white. Tommy just felt the gentle motion of the car and the comforting presence of his human beside him. For him, this was a good day. They drove for what felt like hours, deeper and deeper into the wilderness, down unfamiliar dirt roads where the trees grew thick and blotted out the sun. Finally, the car stopped. The owner got out and opened Tommy's door. "Come on, boy," he said, his voice hoarse. Tommy obediently hopped down, his legs a bit wobbly on the uneven ground. He sniffed the air, filled with the rich sense of damp earth and pine. He looked around, curious, then back at his owner, waiting for the next command. This was it, the moment of betrayal. The owner took a deep breath, his heart pounding in his chest. He unclipped the leash from Tommy's collar. "Go on," he whispered, trying to sound firm. "Go play. He gave Tommy a little nudge, pointing him towards the dense forest. He just needed to get back in the car and drive away. Just drive away and not look back. It would be over. But Tommy didn't run. He didn't bound into the woods. He just stood there, confused. He took a few hesitant steps, then turned back, his head tilted. Why wasn't his owner coming? He let out a soft whine. He took a step back towards the man he had trusted his entire life. He didn't understand. This wasn't a game. This was wrong. His home, his safety, his entire world was about to drive away and leave him behind. And then Tommy did something that shattered his owner's resolve into a million pieces. He walked slowly back to his owner, the one who was about to abandon him to a lonely, terrifying fate. He didn't bark. He didn't cower. He simply walked up and gently nudged his graying head into the man's hand, the same hand that had fed him, petted him, and was now pushing him away. He looked up, his eyes full of nothing but pure, unwavering love and trust. It was a simple, quiet gesture. A final plea for a pat on the head, a last moment of connection with the person who was his everything. In that single, silent moment, 10 years of memories flashed before the owner's eyes. Tommy as a clumsy puppy tripping over his own paws. Tommy standing guard at the door, barking at the mailman. Tommy resting his head on his lap after a long, hard day. Tommy's frantic, joyful welcome every single time he walked through the door. This dog had given him everything, his youth, his strength, his loyalty, his entire being. And in return, he was being discarded like a piece of trash simply because he got old. A sob escaped the owner's throat, a raw, guttural sound of shame and regret. The dam of his carefully constructed justifications burst, and tears streamed down his face. What was he doing? How could he even think of doing this? This wasn't a burden. This was his family. This was Tommy. He fell to his knees on the forest floor and wrapped his arms around the old dog's neck, burying his face in his fur. "I'm sorry, Tommy," he wept. "I'm so sorry, boy." He hugged him tighter, feeling the frail, bony frame of his loyal friend. Tommy, sensing the change in his owner, simply stood there, accepting the embrace and even letting out a soft sigh, as if to say, "It's okay. I forgive you, I'm here." They stayed like that for a long time, a man and his dog, surrounded by the silent woods. The plan was forgotten. The betrayal was abandoned. The owner clipped the leash back onto Tommy's collar, his hands shaking. "Let's go home," he whispered. "Let's go home, boy." He helped Tommy back into the car, and on the drive back, he kept one hand on the dog's back, a promise silently made and understood. Things wouldn't be easy. The vet bills would still come. Tommy would still be old and slow, but he would be home. He would be loved. He would be cared for until his very last breath, surrounded by the family he had so faithfully protected. This story makes us ask a powerful question. Who in our lives has given us their youth, their energy, their unwavering support? Our parents, who sacrificed so much to raise us. Our aging pets, who offered us a lifetime of companionship. Our old friends, who have stood by us through thick and thin. The message is simple, but profoundly important. Never, ever abandon those who have dedicated their lives to you. Their bodies may grow frail, their minds may slow down, but their hearts, filled with a lifetime of love for you, remain as strong as ever. They are not a burden, they are a legacy. They are a reminder of love, of loyalty, and of the promises we make. To care for them in their twilight years is not a chore. It is the highest honor we can possibly have. It is our chance to give back a fraction of the unconditional love they have given us. Thank you for listening. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that matters. Let's create a world where loyalty is repaid with love. Always. See you in the next video.